This year's economic survey is dedicated to all the COVID warriors who have really helped in upholding India. If you see the cover of the economic survey, we have the COVID warriors joining hands to uphold India. Doctors, nurses, scientists who have helped in developing the vaccine in record time, sanitation workers, one and all, who have come together in this time of adversity to really uphold India. The cover also captures the V-shaped recovery that has happened in the economy. In fact, mirrors the V-shaped performance that the Indian cricket team delivered in Australia as well. After being shot out for 36 within an hour, they went on to win the series. So the resilience of the Indian economy is actually mirroring the resilience of the Indian cricket team as well. India's response was guided by research in epidemiology and economics. Nobel Prize-winning research by Lars Hansen and Tom Sargent, which I had the privilege of learning from both of them. Their research advocates that when faced with enormous uncertainty, policies must aim to minimize large losses. Now, faced with a pandemic, that large loss was loss of human lives. As it is said in the Mahabharata, Apadi pranaraksha hi dharmasya pratham ankuraha. Saving a life that is in jeopardy is the origin of dharma. And that is the principle that guided India's policy response. India recognized that GDP growth will come back, and it certainly has, but human lives will not. So if we relate the stringency of the lockdown to the contemporaneous effect, in other words, if the lockdown was more stringent in a particular month, what was the impact on the economic indicators in that month? And what was the impact of the stringency of the lockdown in that month on future economic indicators 3 months later? And what you see is on the left, you see actually a negative correlation, which is the decline contemporaneously. And on the right, you see the positive lagged effect, which is the V-shaped relationship, which is the V-shaped recovery that we witnessed in the economy. On the economic side, India realized that this pandemic has both demand side and supply side impact. The demand side impact, though, is very nuanced. And India's policy response took into account that nuanced effect of the pandemic on demand. On the left side, you see this chart which shows the Pradhan Mantri Jan Dhan Yojana balances, how they increased during the period of the lockdown. You see that the average balance increased by about 400 rupees during the months of the lockdown. Now remember, there are 40 crore accounts, PMJDY accounts, and these are accounts at the bottom of the pyramid. Typically, economists think about the marginal propensity to consume is very high for these households. This is basically jargon to say that if the household at the bottom of the pyramid gets 1 rupee, they're likely to spend 97, 98 paise. So they do not typically save as much. But even in this demographic, during the lockdown, the savings went up on average by about 500 rupees, which is illustrative of the precautionary motive to save, and thereby the impact that it would have had on the discretionary spending. And that is also being seen in the deposits that have increased, the savings that have come into the banks. So realizing that at the onset of the pandemic, when the uncertainty is very high, also the lockdown actually imposed economic restrictions, India approached this in a calibrated manner. In the first part, when the uncertainty was very high, India's policies focused purely on ensuring necessities. 80 crore people were given free food, possibly the largest free food program across the world. Emergency credit measures were given, liquidity measures were announced, and forbearance was also announced. These were all necessities from an economic point of view. And they were optimal at that time, given the uncertainty and the resultant precautionary motives to save, as well as the economic restrictions that I talked about. What India recognized very well is that pushing down on the accelerator of a car while the brakes are already clamped, only wastes fuel. Only when the clamp on the brake is removed, at that time pressing on the accelerator actually speeds the car forward. And that is something that India recognized very well. Therefore, as part of its calibrated response, in the unlock phase, India has actually gone ahead and announced demand-side measures to enable discretionary consumption to come in. The Atmanirbhar Bharat 2 and 3 measures have focused on capital expenditures. A wage subsidy program was announced as part of Atmanirbhar Bharat 3, and the focus on the national infrastructure pipeline has been enhanced. So all these will go towards increasing discretionary spending in the economy. So India's demand-side response was again unique and in a more calibrated manner. On the supply side as well, and India recognized that the pandemic will have supply-side impact too because of possible disruptions in labor markets and the financial distress that firms could have to face, which could lead to impact on the productive capacity of the economy. And therefore, a slew of structural reforms were announced to enhance supply in the medium to long run to avoid loss of productive capacity. These reforms primarily focus on strengthening the potential of the primary and secondary sectors, and they are intended to create jobs and thereby enable aggregate demand in the economy. And as part of these, the survey details this, describes this in detail, streamlining of labor laws, the broad-based reforms in agriculture, MSMEs, the BPO in the service sector, power, mineral sector, space, defense, all these were part of the reforms that were announced as part of the Atmanirbhar Bharat mission. And importantly, the strategic PSUs policy. It's a very important statement of intent. If you recall, in the last year's economic survey, the impact, the wealth creation that comes from privatization was talked about. The strategic PSU policy has actually implemented that by giving the commanding heights of the economy to the private sector. This is given the history of India in its first industrial policy, having given those commanding heights of the economy to the public sector. So this is a very important statement of intent.